One of the biggest figures in Israel during the Six-Day War was Arik, a main player in the battle for Jerusalem. We take a look at the life of that man who had a huge impact on Israel's past and future.
Arik was the chief intelligence officer for the 55th Paratrooper Brigade during the Six-Day War.
I have exactly 10 hours to prepare a unit to war. Usually, to make our operation in Jerusalem, you need about 40 hours. It's a craziness. For an intelligence officer, to El Arish, we have 3 weeks. Here, 10 hours.
As one of the soldiers who reunited Jerusalem, Achmon was honored at the Jerusalem premiere of the CBN docudrama In Our Hands, The Battle for Jerusalem. I talked with Achmon at his Tel Aviv home about the war and his life. When you entered the city for the first time in, a millennium, how did that feel to you? I mean, that was an absolute historic moment.
I was very busy. We was after 3 days of very, very hard fight. Basically, I do not think about history. I was thinking about doing our job. But I must tell you that when we, the two of us, and with us 10 comrades of the commanding unit of the brigade, came to the mount, that was the first time I feel that I have participated in something special. But to say the truth, I was very sad.
Why?
Because 95 of our comrades dead in this fight. The mixture of these two feelings is living in me until today.
And that was only the beginning of Achmon's contribution to Israel.
Arik Achmon, who was one of the first Israeli paratroopers into the Old City in 1967, and actually led the crossing of the Suez Canal in the Yom Kippur War of 1973.
Author Yossi Klein Halevi wrote about Achmon in his 6-day war book, Like Dreamers. He told me how Achmon played the role of hero more than once.
Now, you talk about the transformation of Israel from an agrarian society to a high-tech superpower. And Arik Achmon, the guy who led the crossing of the canal, starts off as a boy living on one of these radical socialist kibbutzim, little agrarian settlement. He leaves the kibbutz and ends up becoming the CEO of Israel's domestic airline. Israel's economy was socialist in those years. He fights the trade unions, and he creates the first privatized company in the state of Israel and opens the way to the high-tech free economy that we have today. So for me, Arik Achmon is a multiple hero.
While Achmon left the kibbutz at age 40, he never forgot what he learned there.
Until today, I think the kibbutzim built Israel.
Where did you get the vision to move beyond kibbutzim life into a broader economy and developing beyond just the socialist idea?
My values is still there in the kibbutz. I believe in free economy that mingled with a social responsibility. Money is very, very, very important things, but not all. It's values that more important than money.
If the economy hadn't changed to a free economy, do you think that Israel would have survived?
I think that the Israeli economy is a miracle. In such extreme circumstances, to be one of the leading economies in the world.
For Achmon, even with Israel's great development, he's troubled by divisions among his people. What about your enemies who don't think you have a right to exist?
The enemies is enemies. We're strong enough to look after ourselves. The enemy of Israel is in us, inside us, not outside.
The future for this country now. You were a man of vision. You've been a man of vision. What's your vision for Israel now?
I believe in the eternity of the Jewish people. We have to get over this conflict and believe in it. I'm not sure that I will live until this day, but I believe in it. We will overcome.
Scott Ross for CBN News in Tel Aviv.
Tomorrow we take you to the streets of Israel to find out what people really believe about the Six-Day War. If you'd like to know more about the Six-Day War, CBN Documentaries produced a docudrama called In Our Hands. You can find out more at cbn.com/inourhands.